Hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all for watching. I know this is about a few weeks late because the trailer came out a few weeks ago, but I just wanted to talk about the trailer for the upcoming Street Fighter movie. And my feelings towards this movie kind of goes in different categories because there are different aspects to this movie. First of all, there's the movie within itself, the directing, the artistic direction, the casting, the fight scenes. You have stuff like that. And then there's a more interesting factor, which is like a cross promotional factor, because it turns out that for the upcoming DLC, apparently the DLC that's going to come for the next season of Street Fighter, because Ingrid is releasing near the end of this month. I so look forward to her. In fact, watch out for the night Ingrid is released. That's about May 28th. I'm gonna buy Ingrid and I'm going to do a live stream showing Ingrid off. But more to the point about the next season of Street Fighter 6, they say that the characters being released are going to be in alignment and in promotion toward the upcoming Street Fighter movie that is coming out this October. And I have an issue with that. I feel like that there's going to be compromise in the sense of the Street Fighter 6 game, where instead of just being purely creative for the sake of Street Fighter 6, that the next DLC batch is going to be compromised just for the sake of movie promotion. And I don't like that. I don't like this whole cross promotion thing. I think Street Fighter 6 is a great game, and it should just stay the way it is and not do any cross promotion. So yeah, that is a really sort of unusual thing that really bothers me. And then as for the movie itself, I think that the casting is pretty questionable. I think that them putting wrestlers in the movie was just because, of the wrestling brand that the wrestlers were associated with. I think that Balrog being portrayed by 50 Cent makes no sense at all. Why would you get a rapper to play a boxer, not Michael J. White? You could have chosen Michael J. White, who has a long time established martial arts background, but no, instead, you get a rapper to play Balrog, which I think makes absolutely no sense. And then there's the actor that plays Dawson, who I think he's too young. I think he looks too young. The actor is about in his 40s, and Dawson is an older man that's like in his 50s or 60s. And this actor that plays him looks too young. And this character here, I heard that he's from Street Fighter 1. And I think it would be interesting if they added him, cuz I think there should be some Street Fighter 1 characters in Street Fighter 6. And yeah, that right there, this man, this mass wrestler, his name is El Fuerte, and I don't think he's a good character. And I really hope they don't add him to Street Fighter 6 just to promote this movie. And that move that Ken just did on them was the Thunder Kick. And I don't think that it looks good. Like I think that I think the Thunder Kick looks better in the game. And then there's just different aspects of this movie that doesn't sit right with me. You have Ken, he starts to become decadent and acts very foolishly after establishing himself as a skilled high level fighter. And I just don't think that's quite in alignment with the character, because this Ken, he just gets boozed up. It just starts acting real crazy and silly, and I don't like that. I don't think that's fitting for the character. And then the game, this scene right here has references where you see Ken is smashing the car. That's from the older games. And in the background, I'm trying to get back to it. There's a 35 because YouTube be drawing with the copyright. There's a 35 in the background, which that's another reference because Street Fighter 2 is turning 35 this year. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 is basically one of the more, that is the more iconic of the earlier entries. The first Street Fighter does not really get any love. Yeah, and then you're showing off Metro City, which is like Gotham City, except it actually got cleaned up. And then, yeah, you see Ken and Ryu, they fight, and that was Ken's throw, which, honestly, I don't think looks good. I think that, I feel like that Ken's throw looks better in the game. Yeah, it looks a lot slower and weaker in the movie. And I just feel like that this movie doesn't really live up when it comes to trying to portray the character's signature moves in real life. They look a lot slower and a lot weaker. So yeah, I just don't think this is a good move. And that right there, this is Julie, and I don't really think she looks like the game character. Yeah, I'm like, maybe they should have gotten an actress that looks more like Julie. And yeah, I just don't think this movie is looking very good. You got Cammy, you got Guile doing his anti-air. Yeah, Dawson, he's too young. Look, his anti-air. I think Guile's anti-air looks better in the game. See, you got a lot going. You got yeah, Cammy. I think the actress that plays Cammy is ugly. Cammy is an attractive character, but this actress does not look good. And right here, you have Chun-Li doing her spinning bird kick, which looks a lot slower and weaker in this movie than compared to the game. Then you have her transitioning into Sensenshu, which also looks a lot slower and weaker in the movie. It looks a lot better in the game. I just feel like this movie does not do a good job of bringing the character's signature moves to life. And then, yeah, look, you have Zangief doing his moves, and it looks like bad CGI. Like, we're just not there yet in terms of technology and stunt work to where you can make moves from Street Fighter really work in real life. We have a lot more progress to make in terms of stunt working and technology and stuff like special effects. And look, you got Chun-Li looks like doing her lightning kick, which doesn't look as good in this movie. And then look, yeah, and Bison looking like he about to ski. Then you got Akuma doing one of his signature moves. And like I said, 50 Cent as Balrog is a really bad creative choice. And Ken Shoryuken looks a lot weaker in the movie than in the game. So yeah, this movie, and then Dawson stretching looks really bad. So all in all, I don't think this Street Fighter movie is really going to deliver. And like I said, I don't like the whole cross-promotional aspect. Trying to tie Street Fighter 6 DLC content into this movie. I feel like it's going to be compromising for Street Fighter 6. And this movie kind of looks a lot like it's making fun of Street Fighter, because the director of this movie, he tends to direct a lot of comedy stuff. And he's worked with Eric Andre extensively, which is why Eric Andre is in this movie. And this movie has a lot of comedic elements to it. So yeah, whether from the directing style and the comedic aspects to the bad execution of the characters' moves in live action to the cross-promotional aspect, I feel like this movie is doing wrong to the Street Fighter franchise in different ways. So yeah, anyway, that's all I got for today. Later this month, near the end, I will be back to show off Ingrid in a live stream when she is released on Street Fighter 6. Thank you all for watching.